Euromaxx highlights. And here's your host, Karin Helmstedt.
Greetings from Berlin and a warm welcome to our highlights of the past week, which line up this time with these and other stories. The lowdown on denim, the material that's still going strong after 300 years. The allure of Eichstätt, why the Bavarian city is so livable. And the popularity of pizza, why Italy's national dish is still a crowd pleaser. Well, whether they're super skinny or baggy, boyfriend or bootcut, stonewashed or even double-dyed, there's probably no greater wardrobe staple than a good pair of jeans. Denim, as it's also known, has been popular since the 19th century, and from gold miners to 21st century urban cowboys, it seems to find its fit for just about every season, as one photographer was eager to point out.
Denim never goes out of fashion. It's durable and comfortable, a classic fabric that's a must in any wardrobe. For his new book, Denim Style, photographer Horst A. Friedrichs went looking for denim heads, fans of the sturdy material that's been around for centuries.
In London, it
was like one big family. All the denim heads know each other. That was the nice thing about the project. You started off with a couple of people, and then everything just went like clockwork. At first, I was afraid it might not work out, and I thought, do denim heads really exist?
Gibt es das wirklich, dieses Denim Heads?
Horst A. Friedrich spent 7 months doing research for his photo project, eventually tracking down the capital's only denim weaver in East London. It's run by Daniel Harris, who looks across the UK for old looms from the glory days of industrial textile production. Here, the denim is woven from a mixture of wool and cotton. It produces a soft denim fabric, which lends itself well to jackets and shirts. U.S. designer Ralph Lauren is just one of Harris's clients.
Wool is so easy. You get the wool, it comes on cones, you break it down, you weave the cloth. Piece of cake. With weaving a cotton like this, there are so many other processes. First of all, you can't just take a cone of cotton and start weaving with it. It has to be sized. It has to be reinforced with starch in order to get it to start weaving. Otherwise, it will just keep breaking.
British designer Mohsin Sajid is always on the lookout for new denim fabric. He needs close to 3 meters to make a pair of jeans and pays as much as €100 for the premium denim. Sewing it is painstaking work. 5 different sewing machines are needed for the task. They're all more than 50 years old and produce the old-style seams that denim heads love.
It's become an everyday garment. It's not something, it's just the easiest thing to throw on, and it works with nearly everything. So, you know, that's the thing about it. Like, you know, sort of like Yves Saint Laurent even said that he wished he actually invented denim. Everyone wishes they were the first people to do denim.
Denim also features prominently in the current summer collections of Chanel and Valentino, in dresses, jumpsuits, boots, and accessories. On the catwalks, models are even daring to wear double denim. But in these specialty shops in London's East End, they're deliberately ignoring latest trends. Classic premium denim jeans like these sell here for up to €500 a pair. Especially sought after are jeans made from Japanese denim, a highly prized material.
While I was making Denim Style, I realized that London is Europe's unofficial denim capital. The vintage scene here is very big. People trade in denim. There are an incredible number of shops here.
London even has its own denim doctor. Luke Deverell can revive the most beat-up pair of jeans and turn them into a fashion statement. Clients looking for individuality and hand craftsmanship flock to the denim doctor's practice. The only operation he won't perform is to distress denim. He says owners can get that worn look just by wearing their jeans.
If you're going to put money into buying denim and you're going to buy sort of premium denim, then it just looks better the more it's repaired. So just keep repairing it. There's no point in throwing it away.
You don't do me no favors.
But distressed or artificially wrecked denim is taboo for real jean lovers. Whether they're musicians or handymen, every activity leaves its mark on denim and makes it look even better.
Denim is a material that'll last you your whole life long. A jeans jacket still looks good after 30 or 40 years. You can just keep passing it on. The British call it fading away when the indigo gets washed out. I don't think that happens to any other material.
Das gibt's, glaube ich, mit keinem anderen Stoff.
The benefits of aging aren't usually applauded in the fickle world of fashion, but that's exactly what puts the jean ingenious.
The prosperity of nations is usually based on factors like economic growth and GDP. But many researchers say those numbers reveal very little about real quality of life. Also now, a new study has rated how people live in German communities by looking at 6 main indicators, and the results pinpoint Germany's happiest and most satisfied community in Eichstätt in Bavaria.
Tanja Stebisch and her children were all born in the town of Eichstätt, and her husband Thomas is also from the region. He's head of the company archives for carmaker Audi. It takes him about half an hour to drive to his job in Ingolstadt.
The distances are all manageable. The kids can get on the bus just 50 meters from here or ride their bikes into town.
A recent study named Eichstätt, Bavaria, the most livable district in Germany. The town of Eichstätt, population 13,000, has the country's lowest unemployment rate, just 1.3%. The picturesque Old Town and beautiful surroundings in the Altmühltal Nature Park are just as much a factor as the excellent infrastructure. Young people, families, and older residents all feel at home in this largely Catholic university town.
The mix of people makes all the difference. We have students living next door and retired people over there. The cross-section is very pleasant.
The Stebisch family bought their home 10 years ago for about 300,000 euros. Housing prices have risen since then, but are still just half what they are in nearby Munich. Tanja works as a speech therapist in Eichstätt.
It makes my life better when I feel comfortable somewhere, when I've got time for myself and I have good friends and family around. My whole family is here, and I can work in my chosen profession, because my workplace is right on my doorstep.
Und ich kann mich aber beruflich verwirklichen, weil meine Arbeit auch direkt vor der Tür ist.
In many ways, she echoes the results of a study on quality of life done by Cologne social researcher Wolfgang Steinle.
Eichstätt stands out through its excellence in many factors, such as living standards and jobs. Eichstätt has full employment and hardly any social problems. In terms of demographics too, this region seems to be in perfect order.
Part of that is the natural beauty right outside the door, in the form of one of Germany's biggest nature parks. The local residents can go hiking, climbing, and bicycling to their heart's content. All the more reason never to leave Eichstätt.
If I ever did, the motivation for me would be just to experience something completely different, but only with the option of being able to return.
His children, Lily and Jakob, don't want to wander far afield either. Jakob is happy just to stay here. And so is little Lily. The study compared 402 districts and municipalities. Frankfurt Oder's high unemployment and crime rate puts it at the very bottom of the list. The high cost of living and low economic activity position wealthy areas like the island of Sylt in the middle. Berlin limped in at 359th place. And even Hamburg only ranked 256th.
The major cities didn't do very well, because social problems tend to accumulate there. Our approach was to take a broad base and define living standards not just in economic terms, such as financial prosperity, but as social quality of life.
The cathedral in Eichstätt has been an episcopal see for over 1,000 years. The bishops commissioned magnificent architecture, such as the Baroque residence with its famous Hall of Mirrors. 29-year-old Daniela Baumann studied at the city's Catholic University.
As a student, it was really nice here, and the guidance from professors was very good because it's such a small university. I don't know if I'd stay another 10 years, but for now I like it a lot. I'm just moving to a new place, so I think I'll stay here for the next 2 or 3 years.
Life in Eichstätt seems to be straight out of a picture book. And to top it all off, as a self-respecting Bavarian town must, it even has its own brewery.
Well, it's still the cheapest and healthiest quick-fix dinner in town, and the one with so many variations that you can eat it several times a week and still not get bored. Pizza originated in Italy, but can now be found all over the world. And the purists say the crust has to be just so for it to be the real deal. And so we met up with the brand new European champion, Pizzaiolo.
Good dough is the key to a good pizza. If the dough doesn't rise properly, nothing can help it. Daniel Favero holds the title of Europe's best pizza baker, and he reveals his secrets to us.
For the crust, I use a wheat sourdough without adding yeast. It rises by itself. When bubbles like this form inside the dough, it's good. But it has to be left to rise for about 24 hours.
The little city of Carrara is situated on Italy's Adriatic coast, surrounded by marble quarries. It was here that Daniel Favero's grandfather opened the Trattoria Ometto. But grandson Daniel was the first to put pizza on the menu. He's been making it for customers for 5 years now, and it goes down well. In March, Daniel Favero was named Europe's best pizza baker. His creation with asparagus, bacon, and tomatoes won over the jury in Hamburg.
Here in Carrara, we're famous for marble. I wanted to pay homage to that. The white bacon from our region stands for the white marble.
Pizza originally came from Naples in southern Italy. Once considered food for the poor, it soon caught on all over the world. Italian immigrants popularized the dish in the United States in the early 20th century. Italian cuisine enjoys international recognition. Fresh ingredients are a must. Food critic and author Leonardo Romanelli of Florence knows the history of today's pizza.
Pizza was originally sold and eaten on the street. A simple dough with tomatoes. Other ingredients weren't added until the end of the 19th century. In honor of Queen Margherita, Pizza Margherita was created with tomatoes, mozzarella, and basil. These 3 ingredients, with their colors red, white, and green, stand for the Italian national flag.
Pizza is traditionally finger food. More than 60 billion euros worth of it is sold around the world each year. There are about 42,000 pizzerias in Italy alone, and the number is still growing. The beverages traditionally consumed with pizza are beer or water, but nowadays white wine is also acceptable. Pizza's culinary status is rising. With the right ingredients, sometimes even a red wine fits.
The primary characteristic of pizza is simplicity, and that should be preserved. Of course, you can put almost anything on a pizza, but the real core of this simple dish must remain recognizable. Sometimes people put expensive ingredients on pizza. The best caviar, gold leaf, smoked wild salmon, truffles. Just to produce the world's priciest pizza. But then the pizza's no longer in the foreground. It's more of a marketing gag.
A pizza made by Daniel Favero costs between 7 and 12 euros. For his regular customers, he likes to invent new creations. For example, a dessert pizza with ice cream and berries. But no matter what, there is one indispensable criterion for a good pizza.
When you lift the pizza, the dough must not sag anywhere. That tells you its quality, and what keeps it from sagging is the character of the dough.
Pizza has even been accepted by some as haute cuisine. Probably also because it's so versatile that even the pickiest clientele can't really go wrong.
Well, this past week, we were in Frankfurt when the lights came on for the Luminale. That's an annual light festival that literally transforms the city after dark with light installations and performances in every imaginable shape, form and colour. And there to be part of the spectacle was an artist collective from Cologne, and so our reporter got the full spectrum.
Illuminated buildings, experimental art, sculptures of light. Luminale merges these three concepts into one. The Light Festival takes place every 2 years in Frankfurt, coinciding with the world's largest trade fair for lighting and building. But it's not just a showcase for industry specialists. The spectacle is a huge hit with tourists and locals. For 6 days and nights, Frankfurt is awash with the light of 182 installations.
It's marvelous to wander from place to place in this spring weather, but instead of using the stars to navigate, we're using the illuminated objects.
With light, you can represent so many different things. I mean, it can literally drive your imagination into so many different directions.
Luminale aims to be a laboratory for experiments in light. And this year, the Raumzeitpiraten, or space-time pirates, embody that spirit of innovation like no other project. It's a collective of Cologne-based artists, Moritz Ellerich, Tobias Demgen and Jan Ehlen. They've been collaborating since 2007, and their installations and performances can be seen at festivals across Europe.
We started taking an interest in machines like old projectors, and we started taking them apart, modifying them. And that's when we discovered our love for optical equipment.
Their methods are part of what makes them special. The space-time pirates don't use ready-made ideas. They set up everything on site, like here in Frankfurt.
We work with fittings and lab equipment that is easy to put together. That means you can set up the installations and individual elements of the instruments wherever you are. And you can also fit everything to whatever space you have available.
Those instruments are a combination of optical and acoustic systems. The three also carry a bag full of technical equipment wherever they go.
And there's the case that we pack everything into. We use it to transport all the equipment that will be used in our installations.
Some of the installations are so small they can fit in a suitcase. That's practical for visits to festivals, especially when they travel further afield. A performance is never complete for these three artists. Throughout the show, they're constantly trying new things. That's exactly what the Luminale's artistic director, Helmut Bien, wants to see.
We are witnessing the digitalization of light. One used to turn light on and off. Now it's all about creating entire scenarios. For us artists, what is interesting is putting on performances with light.
The range of projects at the festival is huge. Shadow theater projected at the top of a skyscraper, performed by actor Julian Button down below. The audience is invited to join in. The light object Twinkle Twinkle is made of hundreds of glass prism poles, a sparkling vortex that changes all the time. The refractions create a fascinating color spectrum. At Luminale, you can enjoy all the art and also learn about innovations in lighting technology. It's exciting for the space-time pirates, too.
We're very interested in recent developments, LEDs and lasers. They use less and less electricity and are getting smaller and smaller. That means it's easier for us to experiment and to invent and construct our own devices.
New technology means new artistic opportunities. One constant in the fast-changing world of light art is the fascination with light and with shadow.
Well, next up, we're headed to southern Portugal to visit the beautiful Algarve region. Now, that area is well known for its wines, for its fresh fish, and for its many outdoor activities. And so we took a tour that started right on the water and ended with some homegrown specialties.
It's early morning off the coast of Lagos in southern Portugal. And this is where Rainer Clem is really in his element. The Berlin native likes to take adventurous visitors on catamaran tours of the Algarve coast. It's the best way to experience its dramatic rock formations.
The great thing about sailing is that you're playing with the elements, with water and wind. After a while, you come to realize that these elements are primeval. They're in us all. The unique things about Lagos are its incredibly beautiful rocky landscape and the outstanding coastline of the Algarve.
Today's catamaran tour lasts 2 hours. Then it's back to the port of Lagos. Here, it's a very busy morning. The fishermen have just returned with full nets. They've brought back octopus, giant crab and sea bass. Behind the port, the old town of Lagos begins with the Foire Ponça de Bandeira, the Moorish places of worship, and the narrow alleyways. Portuguese wine is also something many tourists come for. Another German, Dietmar Ochsenreiter, lives on a vineyard in Mertola, a small town in the countryside, 150 kilometers east of Lagos. He hosts regular wine tastings.
It gets very hot in the summer, which produces the best maturity. That means we have heavy wines, very pronounced, like red berries. And they have a lot of color and a lot of character.
About 1,000 sheep graze between the vines. Among them is Antonio Bahia's flock. Every day since he was 14, the shepherd has walked about 40 kilometers with his animals.
I do this job because I love it. I have no weekends off and have to work day and night. But I have my freedom, and I like that.
The lush countryside around Lagos is best explored on horseback. For the past 2 years, Linda Puls has run a stable here that offers riding holidays in the Vicentina Coast Natural Park, 30 kilometers from Lagos. The German finds the seclusion especially appealing.
The nature reserve is just a few meters away from the horse farm. There are no cars, everything's natural. Every now and then a sheep might run across the road, but that's about it. And you can just ride undisturbed for many kilometers.
She spent 2 hours riding with her students today, returning just before sunset. The nearby fishing village of Salema offers the best view of the sunset. The Rua dos Pescadores, or Fisherman Street, the only road through the village, takes us to the restaurant Agua na Boca. Chef Irena Castella is known for her simple, tasty fish dishes. On today's menu are shrimp, mussels and octopus with potatoes.
Our cuisine has the flavor of the sea, of the wild Atlantic Ocean on our doorstep.
And to top off a day in the Algarve, you can enjoy a traditional seafood platter with a glass of Portuguese wine.
Lovely. Well, that's all for this time for our Euromaxx highlights. So until we meet again, from all of us here in the studio, thanks for watching. Tschüss und auf Wiedersehen.